Are you haunted by the fear of divine punishment? Meet Caleb, consumed by guilt and a belief that every mistake is marked against him in a cosmic ledger. But a chance encounter with a wise woman changes everything. Discover how Caleb breaks free from fear and finds solace in a love that doesn't keep score. This is a story about the transformative power of grace. Caleb sat rigidly in the uncomfortable plastic chair, his hands clenched tightly. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a sterile glow over the hospital waiting room as he waited for news about his brother. But inside, a frantic tally of mistakes consumed him. He was counting and recounting every misstep from the past days. Each one was a mark against him, proof that he was falling short of the impossible perfection demanded by the faith he'd been raised with. His younger brother was in surgery, and the knot of fear in Caleb's chest tightened to a chokehold. He couldn't shake the overwhelming belief that this calamity might be divine punishment for his spiritual failures. The door to the waiting room opened quietly, and an older woman entered, carrying a small, worn book. She seated herself beside Caleb with a calmness that contrasted starkly with his rigid tension. She opened her book and began to read, her voice a soft murmur in the quiet room. Caleb, too fraught to engage, found himself stealing glances at her, her serene expression a puzzle against the turmoil inside him. After a few moments, her eyes lifted from the pages. "Are you all right, dear?" she asked gently. The kindness in her voice was genuine, not the hollow sympathies Caleb was used to. Embarrassed and uncertain, Caleb stammered.
"I'm just worried. I don't think I've been good enough."
His voice barely rose above a whisper. She closed her book and turned to face him fully, her eyes clear and kind. "When my husband was dying," she began softly, "I didn't spend time thinking about the times he was grumpy or missed an anniversary. What stayed with me were the small, simple things, the way he always made me coffee in the morning, the way he held my hand during movies, the way he showed up every day, imperfect but loving." Caleb looked down, fidgeting with his hands, struggling to grasp what she meant. "I was taught to believe God is keeping score, punishing every failure." She nodded gently. "I understand that fear, but love doesn't work like a strict accountant with a ledger of faults. Love remembers the goodness, cherishes it. That's what lasts beyond anything we can tally or judge." Her words seemed to wrap around him like a soft blanket, faint yet persistent against the hard walls of dread. For the first time, a different image began to take shape in Caleb's mind. Not of a wrathful judge waiting to condemn him, but of a loving presence that valued his genuine compassion and effort, however flawed. He realized he had spent his whole life trying to appease a fearsome deity instead of embracing a relationship built on love and grace. Minutes stretched, and the hospital door opened once more. A surgeon appeared, his face calm but serious. "The operation went well," he said. Relief flooded Caleb's chest, a weight lifting that he hadn't fully noticed pressing down for so long. Yet this relief felt different than before. It wasn't the terrified relief of a defendant acquitted at trial, but the profound joy of grace. The fear that had controlled him loosened its grip, replaced by a quiet hope rooted not in punishment, but in love. Caleb's gaze returned to the older woman. "Thank you," he said simply, his voice steady. "You helped me see something I never understood before." She smiled kindly. Sometimes it just takes hearing something new to change the entire way we live. Love doesn't keep a ledger, Caleb. It keeps us. Caleb is now visiting his brother in the hospital. They are happily talking to each other, and his brother is recovering well. Caleb is happy and smiling. Caleb starts to volunteer at a local soup kitchen, serving meals with a genuine smile. He finds joy in helping others, shifting his focus from personal anxieties to communal kindness. One day, Caleb returns to the hospital to visit the older woman, only to find she has been discharged. He leaves a thank you note with a nurse filled with heartfelt gratitude. Weeks later, Caleb receives a postcard with a landscape of a serene lake and a short message. "Keep spreading love, Caleb. It's the best ledger." He smiles, treasuring the simple yet profound message. Caleb starts a small community garden, involving neighbours and sharing the harvest. The garden becomes a symbol of collective effort and shared joy, embodying the spirit of his changed perspective. As the seasons change, Caleb continues to live by the principle of love and kindness. He understands that life's true measure is not in avoiding mistakes, but in the positive impact he has on others. Caleb shares his transformative experience with others struggling with similar fears. He becomes a beacon of hope, guiding them toward a more loving and forgiving understanding of faith and life. In moments of doubt, Caleb revisits the memory of the older woman's words, finding renewed strength and purpose in the simple truth that love always triumphs over fear. Caleb continues his journey, embracing imperfections and focusing on genuine connection and compassion. He discovers that true fulfillment lies not in a perfect ledger, but in a life filled with love. Caleb is now an older man sitting on a porch. A young child is next to him, listening intently as Caleb reads the story of his transformation from a worn, beloved book. Caleb finishes his story with a wink. His purpose has come full circle as he passes on his words of wisdom to a new generation.